If you're someone who's been struggling with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, weight loss is probably one of your big goals to get better for your health, and that's totally legitimate. Whether you want to take stress off your body, improve your energy overall, or just look better and feel more comfortable in your skin, weight loss will help to achieve all of these things. However, so many times in our life we focus in on what we're eating and we forget the other factors that are involved in our metabolism. So in today's video, we are going to cover the 3 keys that will help you to lose weight that have nothing to do with your diet. When it comes to the absolute best information to naturally support your Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. I post videos every single Thursday, and that'll make sure that you don't miss any of the content. Plus, hang with me till the end of this video and make sure you get a chance to grab my free download. My name is Dr. Bodle, and I've helped hundreds of patients improve their Hashimoto's naturally and get the results that they deserve. But to do that, we have to treat you like a whole person, and we can't just focus on one aspect of your health. So in today's video, we are going to focus on the 3 keys that have nothing to do with diet that will really impact your metabolism and help you towards your weight loss goals. The first key is exercise. And don't check out just yet. I'm not going to say eat less, move more. Why? Because that is a cruddy way to go about these types of situations, and that's what 99% of the doctors are saying out there because they just don't really understand how these things work. In fact, eat less, move more doesn't work for most of the population, let alone someone who has disruption in the way that their thyroid pathways work. Now, is exercise important and a key to your weight loss? Absolutely. Otherwise, it wouldn't be one of the 3 keys, right? But not in the way that we traditionally think about it. It's not about burning off excess calories that we're taking in or burning off the excess weight that we have stored on our body. Instead, it's all about supporting our immune system, and exercise is pretty unique in the way that it can help to regulate and normalize autoimmunity, different than anything we can do with our food intake, supplement intake, or medication, which makes it pretty cool. So if the goal is to regulate our immune system and not burn calories, how should we approach this? Unfortunately, I see a lot of my patients fall into 2 different camps, and each has their flaws. The first one is people who have tried just about everything and nothing seems to help them lose weight. And that's really discouraging, which leads to us not doing anything. And that is a problem for us in and of itself. The second group of people are the ones who have been told so many times that they have to increase their activity levels that they are going to the ends of the earth to achieve this. They figure that if 30 minutes of exercise is good, 1 hour must be better, and 2 hours has to be better than that. And the problem here is that we're actually overdoing it and driving up the inflammatory load on our body, which is also problematic for how our metabolism and our immune system works. So here's the key thing that we have to understand. Exercise, while we're doing it, is acutely inflammatory, but afterwards, it is massively anti-inflammatory. So we have to find the right fit or the right amount of intensity for you to be able to achieve those anti-inflammatory effects, but not be burdened by the acute inflammatory response. That means that the important things here are less is more, and consistency is king. So if we can find an exercise that afterwards we feel energized, supported, healthier, we want to do that exercise at that particular duration and intensity. But if we're doing a particular exercise and we feel worse, we feel like we have to nap immediately, it's taking us multiple days to recover, we have to change the parameters on that to be able to support our body and have better outcomes with our immune system. So remember, don't think about your body as a coal-powered train where you have to shovel a bunch of coal into the burner to be able to achieve any kind of meaningful results. Instead, exercise is immunoregulatory and improves your immune system's tolerance. And when we can find something that fits your body, it will help you to decrease the autoimmune activity, improve thyroid function, and that's the key point that will allow you to have better metabolism and better outcomes with your weight loss. Key number 2 is prioritizing sleep. And if you'd like to take a really deep dive into it, make sure you check out this video on getting a good night's sleep with Hashimoto's and stop waking up at 2 a.m. But usually when I bring up sleep to people with autoimmunity, it's not met with a lot of enthusiasm. And again, we fall back into two main camps. One group is they've done everything they can think of and they can't fall asleep, they can't stay asleep, and sometimes both. And the other group is no matter how much sleep you get, you never feel well rested. And in fact, a lot of these people feel like they've been through a wrestling match all night where they'll wake up sore and exhausted. But even if sleep has historically been a challenge for you, that doesn't mean that we can forget it, and that doesn't mean that we can't make it a priority in our lives. In fact, just to give you a little bit of insight and context, some of the most difficult patients for me to help get better are people who have worked swing shift and night shift for long periods of time. Sometimes we can get almost all their symptoms doing better, but it's super hard for us to get that weight to budge. And that's because their circadian rhythm is completely disrupted, and that has huge implications for our metabolism and for the way our immune system works. To help with our sleep, we want to first start by finding an 8-hour block where we can have uninterrupted time for our sleep. And this isn't just 8 hours in bed where we're on our phone or watching TV. It's 8 hours of actual sleep time. Next, wherever that 8-hour window fits into our schedule, we need to make sure that the starting point for it, whether it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., or 11 p.m., is consistent for us throughout the week. We don't want to be changing that around because it will make it more difficult for us to establish a rhythm with our sleep patterns. But what if we dedicated time to our sleep and we've been consistent with the schedule, but we're still not having the quality of sleep that you need to feel energized and well rested? Well, here's some things that you can try. Now, I know I said that today's video had nothing to do with diet, but I'm gonna cheat here a little bit and tie it into our sleep because for the vast majority of people, they are having sleep disturbances because of fuel changes and poor blood sugar stability. As a general rule, if you're having a tough time falling asleep at night, it means that your blood sugar levels are probably too high and they may trend hyperglycemic throughout the day. When this happens, it can raise our cortisol levels, and since we need a high level of melatonin compared to a low level of cortisol at night, this really disrupts our ability to, once again, fall asleep. Some of the common symptoms that you'll experience if you're a little bit higher on the blood sugar readings is after you eat a meal, you'll feel tired, lethargic, and sleepy within 30 minutes of eating, and you'll also crave something sweet at this time. To help with this, I not only recommend reducing your overall carbohydrate load throughout the day, but you'll also want to fast for 4 hours before going to sleep. So if you're going to sleep at 10 p.m., you need to stop eating at 6 p.m. and only drink water between that dinner time and your bedtime. For people who are on the opposite end and tend to be a little bit more hypoglycemic, they're going to be the ones that have a difficult time at staying asleep throughout the entire night. So you'll wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and feel very anxious, jittery, and sometimes people have to do something active or eat to allow them to go back to sleep. During the day, you'll notice symptoms like you need a cup of coffee to get started in the morning. If you go too long without eating, you can get headachy or lightheaded. And you'll also have cravings and you'll feel better once you do get some fuel into your body. For these people, you're going to really want to focus on increasing your calories, specifically from protein and fat throughout the day. Your body needs more fuel and you want to use ones that are particularly stable. That way you don't have any of those blood crashes in the middle of the night. In fact, you may want to go so far, and this is a strategy that I use with a lot of my patients, to actually have some food right before you go to sleep. So I recommend that people take a couple bites of protein or a couple tablespoons of coconut oil or MCT oil right before they go to sleep. Now I know this is a little counterintuitive to a lot of the things that we've been told, but if we keep the amount of food small, it won't be too problematic in regards to our digestion, and the extra calories can really be beneficial for skipping over that crash that is causing the stress response in the middle of the night. Again, blood sugar issues are the #1 cause of sleep disturbances, and I really like to start here from a troubleshooting standpoint because it doesn't cost us any money. All it requires us to do is switch around some of the macronutrients that we're intaking and the timing of that, and it'll very quickly let you know if you have your thumb on the mechanism that is disrupting your sleep. Once you have this addressed, only then do I think it's a good idea to start spending your money on trying different supplements to help out with your sleep. But there are some good ones out there, and I know a lot of people who have had success with different types of supplemental support. This can include anything from supporting electrolytes with things like magnesium, to using L-theanine and valerian root, or supporting melatonin pathways with things like 5-HTP or melatonin directly. But the thing that I want you guys to all keep in mind is whenever we have autoimmunity, that immune tolerance is lost, and therefore there's a higher likelihood that we can react to herbs or different types of immune modulators. For example, melatonin does stimulate our immune system, and it's not going to be a silver bullet for everyone. It may actually make you feel worse if your immune system doesn't tolerate it properly. So, as always, make sure you're listening to your body, and just because one strategy doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's the end of the world and we won't find some other supportive mechanism. So if you've been working on your weight loss, what's the biggest lifestyle change that you've made that's really helped with your goals? Let me know in the comments below, because maybe it isn't something that we've considered in today's video, but it's a huge factor anyways and could really benefit someone else who's been watching. Finally, the third key for supporting our Hashimoto's and improving our weight loss is emotional stress. Stress is inherently inflammatory, and therefore it's a trigger for autoimmunity. Additionally, it can promote things like insulin resistance, which changes the way that we process and burn fuel. It's for these two main reasons that if we don't address this factor in our life, it is going to make it very difficult for us to lose the weight that we want to be able to lose. I can't tell you the amount of patients that I've worked with who have had a stressful job, a stressful relationship, or maybe they're taking care of their mom and dad who is sick in the hospital. And in these situations, no matter what they do, whether they eat perfectly, they exercise religiously, because of the emotional stress and the inflammatory load that it has on their body and their life, they do not see any changes in their weight. So there's two main ways that we can go after this. Either we can decrease the amount of stress in our life, or we can find better ways to manage it. Since we can't always control the environmental or external factors, I think that it's important we focus on management skills. And besides sleep and exercise, which can be huge for these types of things, there are some other strategies that we can look at that can be really beneficial. I like my patients to do a combination of individual exercises and group or social exercises. So for individual exercises, we can do things like meditation or prayer, mindfulness exercises, breathing, or journaling. All of these provides us some time to do self-reflection, be by ourselves, and offload some of the day-to-day stress that we all experience. In terms of social activities, we need something that is consistent, that we can look forward to, and allows us to laugh, love, and interact with others. If you don't have a close group of friends, or maybe you're a long ways away from home, then you need to make a strong effort here. Do something like joining a recreational sports team, or maybe a mom's group, or even do something like volunteer. All of these are great opportunities for you to interact with other people, and again, the consistency can really be valuable in your ability to manage your own lifestyle stress. Lastly, being able to talk with someone one-on-one can really be supportive to your health as well. So whether that's a therapist or having a close friend or partner, all can be good options. However, one word of caution: when we have a close friend or partner as our confidant, as our support system, make sure that they don't have stress that they're dealing with in their life as well. So to help manage this and make sure that you guys are both being supportive to one another, establish a time when it's appropriate to have these conversations and don't let it dominate all of your relationship. So there you have it. If you have Hashimoto's and haven't been seeing the weight loss like you want to see with dietary approaches alone, make sure you consider and incorporate these other three factors. Exercise that is consistent but appropriate for your body. Sleep that is prioritized and making sure that you're getting an 8-hour block minimum at a consistent time every night. And lastly, manage your stress to the best of your ability and offload it in ways that are healthy and responsible. If you like these recommendations, but you're still working on your diet and food choices to improve your symptoms, then I have a free guide for you to download. It's titled 109 Foods to Boost Your Thyroid and Improve Your Energy, and you can grab that at the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. You are all so amazing, and I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Say hi on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all those links are in the description. My name is Dr. Brad Bodle. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will see you guys in the next video.